yes, my precious. Safe in our cave where the bad man can't hurts us.
Hey, don't make it gay.
The Hollywood apocalypse is upon us. The industry is in a state of total and complete collapse. Revenue expected to fall below $9 billion for the year 2025. That's 23% behind 2019 levels. It doesn't take a genius to see that the entire studio system is cratering because of declining theater audience, high cost versus low revenue, box office bombs, streaming competition, and faltering franchises. Let's go ahead and check in on this one. Faltering franchises, formerly reliable intellectual property, is failing to draw audiences. What this synopsis misses is that these franchises are being destroyed on purpose, systematically, sacrificed on the message by people who vandalize them. And we have so many examples of that, but let's go ahead and look at the Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings is a pristine masterpiece when faithfully adapted by Peter Jackson about 20 years ago. You clearly couldn't make these movies today, and when they try, they fail because they're constantly complaining that there's not enough women, people of color, transgenders in wheelchairs in the actual production, and when they try and do Rings of Power on Amazon, it bombs. It gets just destroyed, dragged, roasted online. It doesn't work. You can't take something that was written and beloved in a different time through to the modern day and project modern day politics into the lore. This is the vandalization of what so many people love and care about and have, quite frankly, based their entire lives or YouTube channels around. It will not work out for you. It's been proven time and time again. And of course, it's not just Lord of the Rings. Star Wars is an excellent example of this. Willow, every single time they try and do this, it's really hard to get yourself a Top Gun Maverick, part 2, right? Like, it's really tough to do that, to faithfully adapt and to bring the characters forward into the modern era. It's best just to leave it alone. But if you are going to bring it back because you want to try and print more money off of the failing franchise, the last thing that you would want to do is take the histories written by J.R.R. Tolkien of Middle-earth and hand them over to one of the single dumbest libtards that has ever been in front of a camera. A guy who's so cringe and terrible that he got canceled from his own show. Not kicked off so they could bring in another host. He actually destroyed the legacy of a 70-year-old program on CBS. A man so repulsed and reviled by the internet that he hasn't really had a single viral clip that's been positive put up about him in years. But that's exactly what's happened. Lord of the Rings movie has been handed over to Stephen Colbert for development by Warner Brothers. I guess we'll see if the Warner Brothers merger actually ends this abomination. Just in case you're wondering what Stephen Colbert's writing chops sound like, here's like a good example.
But I would swerve to avoid a traffic curve.
Oh, that's gonna leave a mark, Cuban.
Donald, do you know that to be a billionaire, you have to have the billion part in your bank account, not just the air?
Tom, you just fell into the Shark Tank.
Donald, I know you have no shot with Hispanics, because there's no way in hell you're getting the Cuban vote.
That's Stephen Colbert's writing. Are you looking forward to that being the new Lord of the Rings? A little early for April Fools, isn't it? New Lord of the Rings movie. Stephen Colbert is co-writing the Lord of the Rings Shadow of the Past, which will go into production after The Hunt for Gollum. The synopsis. 14 years after the passing of Frodo, Sam, Merry, and Pippin set out to retrace the first steps of their adventure. Meanwhile, Sam's daughter, Eleanor, discovered a long-buried secret and determined to uncover why the War of the Ring was very nearly lost before it began. Colbert is co-writing the script with his son, Peter McGee. Could you imagine anything that sounds worse than that? Nerdrotics. F no. F no. Nobody loves Lord of the Rings more than Nerdrotics. I like the movies. I mean, you're talking about expert level here. One of the best YouTube accounts in the world. Go follow, obviously, Nerdrotic if you don't already. No, it's something beyond our wildest nightmares. Cast it into the fire. Stephen Colbert is confirmed as
that we're working with, and you can see for yourself. Hang on, there we go. Hello.
Hi, Peter.
Hey, Stephen. Hi. How are you?
How are you doing?
Good. Good. I like all your talking stuff on the wall there. That's that's.
Oh, thanks. This is just part of the collection.
So I was just explaining to the folks about the next Tolkien movie after Hunt for Gollum, and the fact that we've partnered up with you to develop the script. So,
yeah, I'm pretty happy about it. Should I tell people what the story is?
As much as you want. Yep.
I will, as much as I can. You know what the books mean to me and what your films mean to me. But the thing I found myself reading over and over again were the 6 chapters early on in the Fellowship that y'all never developed into the first movie back in the day. It's basically, the chapter is Three's Company through Fog on the Barrow Downs. And I thought, oh, wait, maybe that could be its own story that could fit into the larger.
No one cares. No one cares. F no. Nobody cares. Why do you have full face makeup on? Why do you have a face full of makeup here for this allegedly a FaceTime with Peter Jackson? This is getting ratioed into the sun. Hard pass. This is absolutely a horrendous idea. This should be embarrassed. I think they're going to get it canceled. I mean, I really do. All seriousness, Hunt for Gollum will be a financial and creative disaster already. Nobody asked for. But the Lord of the Rings sequel, written by Stephen Colbert, with old Sam, Merry, and Pippin, and a new main girl boss character, please, no. Congrats. Instead of making people hyped for a new movie, you've already divided them and pissed everyone off. Nobody wants some political celebrity version of the Lord of the Rings movie. The synopsis sounds dumb. Hard pass. I don't care if you're a Colbert fan. He's a political hack, and he can't help but inject his politics into everything. Having him as an addition is reason enough not to watch this. It's being destroyed. I mean, this idea is being diversity, inclusivity, and healing. The first shots out of Lord of the Ring. This is Frodo's daughter, no doubt. Exclusive image. It might be, in fact, the worst idea that anybody's ever had in history. Cast it into the fire. Destroy it. We're getting gay Gandalf. Yes. Just asked AI to put together a Lord of the Rings movie written by Stephen Colbert, and there you have it. I love the amputated black leg. Soon. What does it say, Frodo? In this house, we believe science is real, Black Lives Matter, no human is legal. It's some form of liberal white woman. Let's just have Jimmy Kimmel write a new Anna Karenina. Why not stop with Colbert and Lord of the Rings? Maybe we can get Seth Meyers to write a new version of Moby Dick. Conan can rewrite Catcher in the Rye. Am I losing my mind? I won't be watching anything made by this propaganda puppet who danced around on stage singing about the COVID vaccines. This is Stephen Colbert's writing. This is what they're making. This is what they're making. This is the man writing the new Lord of the Rings.
The vaccine.
This is hell. This is hell. We've entered hell. This sounds like shit. It's going to be War of the Rohirrim all over again. You could do all kind. That's the one with 40% on Rotten Tomatoes. You get all these stories from the appendix accurately. The one would be really suitable for adaptation. Balin's failed expedition into Moria. But now let's just turn Sam's daughter into a girl boss and make up some shitty fanfic. Hopefully this gets canned. We'll see. This is going to be significantly worse than Star Trek Starfleet Academy. Nobody asked for transgender orcs. I'm not even doing a bit. This is the worst possible idea for a Tolkien movie, and it has made my quality of life worse. My son Baron says Colbert is going to make hobbits gay. So if you don't cancel this film, I'm blocking the merger. That might be the easiest way to get this canned. Please stop Star Warsing my Lord of the Rings. Keep your political nonsense out of these adaptations. Yeah, right. Yeah. It was like 15 at 9/11. So that's right. Tim Colbert is writing Lord of the Rings spin-off, buddy. He's going to make Sauron Trump. What a disaster. Warner Brothers is trying to flex their Lord of the Rings rights, but Warner Brothers was just bought by some people who are going to be, I think, a little confused about this decision, right? I think the Paramount, the makers of Top Gun 2, Maverick, they're gonna be a little, I think they're gonna be a bit skeptical about the vandalization of this franchise. Tolkien is flailing in his grave. Y'all looking forward to Sam's girl boss daughter? I won't be watching anything made by this propaganda puppet. Whoever came up with this idea, the sequel Lord of the Rings, Stephen Colbert to co-write it, should be launched into the sun. Yeah, a lot of hot takes. Warner Brothers wants to outsuck the Rings of Power. Let me say this in no uncertain terms, that everybody involved in this should have their arms and legs cut off. 14 years after the passing of Frodo, Sam, Merry, and Pippin set out to retrace their steps. Sam's daughter discovered that she's a girl boss. I had to double check if this was a joke because it sounds like the dumbest shit I've ever heard. I'm looking at the handle and hoping to turn this into a parody account, but nope, this is happening. Stephen Colbert is co-writing the script. This might strike some viewers as harsh, but I believe that everybody involved in this story should die. This is not it, Hollywood. You're not going to win by putting this guy in charge of Lord of the Rings. I don't know exactly what your thoughts are here. And maybe this is just like some type of FU to Paramount. You're trying to sabotage the entire your entire studio. Maybe that's it. I don't know. But the ultimate rage from all this comes from you just messing up a good thing. The people who made the Back to the Future trilogy just refuse to make more. Because why mess with something that's virtually perfect? 91, 94, and 95% on Rotten Tomatoes. Arguably the most beloved franchise perhaps in history. This side of Star Wars, maybe more. Why? Why must you go back and do this? It needs to be studied. Something sick. Look forward to the endless amount of content, though, it will provide for the channel. So I guess there's this overlap. It's your boy Benny. Like, share, and subscribe. See you.